As a young man of God, I don't believe that the reason you're single is because it's just not your season or you're in a season of singleness. In fact, I think when people say stuff like that, it's corny and they do it for views. I think the reason you're probably single as a young masculine man, you're Christ-focused, you're on self-improvement, is probably because if God did bless you with that partner, you couldn't handle it. When I was growing up, every young guy will know what I'm talking about. When I was growing up, there would be women that you would see, you and your friends would see either online or in person, that you would think were so attractive, they were so bad. People would be like, oh, I'd date her regardless. I don't need to know nothing else. Like, you would date her or you would cuff her just because of how attractive she was. And I've been doing social media for about 4 years. I've been making content since I was 16. And so I've talked to a lot of young men on client calls. And one of the most common things I see with young Christian men that are going through breakups, that are going through hard times with the girl that they really liked, typically is because they idolized the girl. Or it was her beauty, but typically it's the attention that they idolize. And I don't know if there's anything that God hates more in the Bible than idolizing something other than him. I think a lot of young men, because they aren't actually submitted to Christ, they idolize the relationship, they idolize women, they idolize marriage, whatever it actually is. So how could God bless you with that when he knows that you will no longer look to him, you will no longer submit to him? He will become second or third place to your relationship because you aren't that spiritually developed. I mean, even look at money in the Bible. The Bible never warns about acquiring wealth, but it warns about the love of money. And I think there's a lot of young Christians that are trying to build businesses or trying to get more money, trying to stack bread. And a lot of times the reason that might not be working is because God won't help you with it because he knows you will idolize it if he were to give that to you right now. When I was like 17 is when I really started to blow up on TikTok and Instagram, and I had about 500,000 or 600,000 followers. My first business was a jewelry business, and it actually did really well. Like, I had months where I made 7, 8, 9, 10 grand in a month. And in my mind, that was just going to keep going that way and going that way. And so mentally for me, as soon as I graduated high school, my whole idea was I'm just going to graduate and then I'm moving to Miami, right? Not long after that is when my smoking addiction caught up to me and I really stopped working on the business and I killed it, destroyed it. It wasn't until after the business crumbled. It wasn't until after I kind of lost the identity of what my page and what my content was going to be about. And then I submitted myself to Christ and then I started talking about Christ-focused self-improvement. That's when my life started to fix. But if Christ wouldn't have denied me the blessing of making all that money and then moving to Miami, I would have been a complete degenerate. And looking back at it, it's because I couldn't have handled it. And I think for a lot of young men, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dating, it's the exact same way. Like, honestly, from a biblical perspective, how could you say that you're ready for a woman, you're ready for a wife to lead, right? But you can't even stop watching pornography, which, by the way, I have a free guide if you want to quit below. 100% free. All you have to do is punch in your email. You can sign up right below and grab it. But you can't even stop yourself. You can't even abstain from your own lust. What do you think is going to happen if God were to give you a partner that you then also both have to work together to not fall into that lust? You couldn't handle that. I think, truthfully, the reason a lot of young Christians are single nowadays, especially young Christian men, yes, dating is getting harder. Yes, there's less quality people out there, sure. I think it's because a lot of us are still pretty lukewarm. We aren't submitted to Christ. I need to submit to Christ more in certain ways too. But honestly, all of these guys online talk about having a woman submit to you, but yet no one wants to submit to Christ. And both of those have to happen for the relationship to work. And that's why I think submitting to God is giving your fruits of your life to God, right? When you get up in the morning, is the first thing that you do scroll, or do you actually get the Bible out and pray and read? Are you looking to fulfill the God-given purpose that's been bestowed onto you? Do you go to the gym and try and improve yourself physically and take care of the temple? Do you eat correctly? Are you constantly trying to improve yourself? Are you more focused on trying to listen to the Holy Spirit than you are the Red Pill podcast? And until you're submitted to Christ, do not expect to find a woman that is going to submit to you. And I hope you found this helpful. Christ-focused self-improvement is what I teach. I'm trying to post a video every day, so subscribe for more, like. And if you have any videos that you want me to cover, like any topics, just comment them down below. I'm always reading my comments, trying to get some ideas. Oh, and I have a free community down below you can go check out too. Hope this helped you. Stay blessed.